Hey parents, so I am sending out a message to everyone to answer a few questions that I am continuously getting. One, the most important one, at least I think, we will have a yearbook this year. There absolutely will be a yearbook. We do have content. We are going to have portrait pages and we will have senior portraits. So if you are asking yourself, I don't know if I should buy a yearbook, like, are they even going to have stuff in the yearbook? The answer is yes, you should buy a yearbook, and yes, we will have things in the yearbook. I would even say that this year, more than any other year, is the year to buy a yearbook because it's a historical year. There has never been a year in which we have started schools in the midst of a global pandemic. So when your kids have their kids are going to ask, hey, Dad, what happened in 2020? Like, that sounds like it was a crazy year. What happened? And your kids can pull this book, this year's yearbook, off the shelf and say, let me tell you about it. It was nuts. So if you don't buy a yearbook this year, this historic year, I have a feeling you're really going to regret it. This is going to be one of those years that people look for yearbooks from this year. Another question that I'm getting is, are we doing senior portraits? Yes, we are still doing senior portraits. Please make sure that you are scheduling your yearbook portrait with Katie Studios. If you used a different studio to take senior portraits for yourself, you can use those for your ads, for your senior ads. But for your portrait, for the yearbook picture, it needs to be with Katie Studios. We will have road shoots, and that information will be coming out with you as things develop. But if you have not done so already, please make sure that you schedule your senior yearbook photo shoot with Katie Studios. As far as underclassmen, grades 9 through 11, when we go back to school, we currently have scheduled portrait pages. And I'm saying when we go back to school, because I really want us to go back to school. So please, please, please make sure that you're masking up so that we can go back to school. We miss your kids so much. When we get back to school, we can schedule those portraits for grades 9 through 11 using appropriate social distancing. And remember, for certain phases, we're going back only one group of students, one day a week, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. And so we can make smaller groups and we will be socially distanced. Hey, my kid is staying virtual. Is it okay if we still get our picture taken? Absolutely. What we will do is we will have students who are staying virtual will come to the school, but we will have outside after school hours for those students to take those pictures so that you will not be in contact with other students. If the worst case scenario happens and we do not get the opportunity to go face to face, please don't let that happen. If that happens, we will still have portraits. There is a software that we can use that essentially has the students take a picture of themselves using an outline so that they fit appropriately in the box, and it's like a selfie. It's not ideal. They're not great images. We would prefer not to do this. We want to use Katie Studios. We want to have the traditional photo. So our goal is that we are going to go with the schedule, and we're going to go ahead with the knowledge that this is going to happen. But we do have a backup plan if it doesn't happen. What kind of content are you going to have in there? Well, first of all, we're going to have traditional content. We are still having athletic events. As of today, athletic events are still on the schedule. We have photographers that are going, professional photographers, as well as our yearbook staffers. Keep in mind that we have a full staff of yearbook students. So if you don't buy it for any other reason, buy it to support your school, because we have kids that are working really hard on this book, and we're going to have some great content for you guys to have. And once they're gone, they're gone. The yearbooks are gone. So I strongly encourage you, buy your yearbook and buy it quickly, and buy it now when it's at its lowest price before the prices go up. So some of the other questions that I've gotten are what type of content you're going to do. It's the anniversary year for us this year, so we're going to have some content from previous years showing like what it looks like from Milton throughout the ages. But we're also going to focus a lot on what are the ways that we've adapted ourselves to this new strange world, right? And how have things changed, and how have things changed or stayed the same? So if we're talking about traditions, you know, a lot of people are concerned about us like bleeding traditions and not having enough traditions for the kids this year. A yearbook is a great way to maintain one of those traditions. You know, if we're not having tailgates like the way that we used to, then this is a way to maintain a tradition. So again, I strongly encourage you to buy a yearbook this year more than any other year. If you've never bought a yearbook before, even if your kid's not a senior, even if your kid's not a freshman, still buy a yearbook this year, because this is an entirely different world than any that we've ever seen before. And so the content is going to highlight that. It's going to highlight how things are different, but also kind of the same. You know, kids still talk in class. It's just over virtual. Kids still have science labs. It's just over virtual. We still have a Model UN conference. It's just over virtual. So is it different? Yes. But is it the same? Yes. And so that's what the yearbook is going to reflect. So parting thought is this: please, please, please purchase your yearbook now. Go ahead and secure it, because we're going to have a great book. And if you don't have a yearbook from this year more than any other year, I think that you're going to end up regretting it in the long run. So that's my plug. Milton High School parents, please buy your yearbook. If you've got questions, reach out to us on the Milton High School yearbook page. And also, speaking of content, we have a place for you to deposit photos. If you're worried that there's not going to be enough of like your kid in the yearbook, this is your chance. Put your kid in the yearbook. Drop the pictures that you want your kid to be in the yearbook. Drop them in that little link that we've got at the top of the yearbook page. So it's miltonyearbook.com. Go there, drop your pictures, purchase your yearbook, get your senior ad taken care of, get all of the information from Katie Studios, and buy a yearbook this year.